Greetings, everyone. Well, what to talk about today? Maybe some more Doctor Who? No. Been talking about that a lot lately. How about... Ooh. Apparently my collection already has an idea of what I should talk about today. Let's not put it off anymore. I think I've kept you waiting long enough. I mean, it's only been 4 years, but hey, what the heck. I may be slow, but I get there in the end. The Transformers Matrix of Leadership 25th Anniversary Complete Series Collection from Shout Factory. Today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. The wait is at long last over. I figure, let's get some old business out of the way, and this is probably the oldest business of them all, so let's do it. Now, a set of this magnitude requires a little bit of extra attention, I think. So this isn't just going to be a one-off review. This is going to be a multi-parter. I'm just going to say that right off the top because some of my other multi-part reviews have confused people and they thought that was the only part. And it's like, well, you didn't talk about everything. It's like, well, no, because it's part 1 of like 87. It's not going to be 87 parts. So what I'm looking at doing here is 5 parts. So part 1, being this part, is just going to basically be a look at the packaging. So we're going to open it up, take a look inside, see how everything's put together in there, take a look at the disc art and all the pack-in goodies and stuff like that. Part 2, we'll get into the actual contents, the organization of the episodes, what extras are on there, how the extras compare to the other releases that Shout Factory put out, specifically what you do get in this that you don't get in those sets and things like that. Part 3 is going to be all about the restoration and remastering that they did for this particular set and kind of how it compares to the Rhino sets, which we've talked about before. Part 4 will be problems and just general conclusion type stuff. Although it is a pretty darn good set overall, there are a few issues with it, and I thought, well, we might as well devote an episode specifically to that. So we're going to talk about that in Part 4. And then Part 5... I'm going to attempt to answer a long-standing question amongst Transformer fans, namely, can the original series ever be put out on Blu-ray? I know a lot of people put off getting this because they're like, well, I've already got the Rhino set. I'm going to hold out for a Blu-ray release. It's like, well, you might be waiting a long time, but we'll talk about that more in depth in Part 5. So, without any further ado, let's crack this sucker open and take a look inside. Okay, I'll get all up close and personal here. Now, if I may be permitted to name drop a little bit, while this set was being developed, I received several phone calls from Brian Ward himself. At the time, I was, pretty close with Shout Factory, and they would often come to me and ask for advice or information or just opinions or what have you about whatever 80s cartoon set they were working on at the time. Now with the Transformers and G.I. Joe sets in particular, I actually gave them quite a bit of help, and Brian was in pretty close contact with me throughout most of the development process. We'll cover a little bit more of that a little bit later, just kind of as we go, where relevant. But one of the things I remember him bringing up in one of the phone calls was he mentioned that they'd got the prototype for the design for the package, and he was asking me if I had any idea what they were going to do. Now, I knew that they were going for a Matrix of Leadership design of some kind, but I had no idea how they were going to make that work. So he asked what I thought it might look like, and I said, I don't know, I'm picturing like a big sphere with the handles on the side, or the finger holes on the side. You pull it apart and somehow the discs are like levitating in the middle. And he said, well, you're kind of close, so let's take a look here and see how this actually does work. So it is very simple. These aren't actual finger holes here. I should also mention there is a Chinese bootleg version of this set floating around, so be wary of that. It doesn't open up the same way. It's not as thick as the official set, and it also doesn't contain all of the pack-ins, obviously. The biggest giveaway is there's a big booklet that comes in the official set that the Chinese bootleg set does not have. It just has a piece of paper which has just, so I think, the Autobot and Decepticon logos on it, and that's it. If that's the set you got, then I'm sorry to say you got a bootleg. If you got this set with the booklet and all the goodies in it, then you got the official set. This is obviously the one you want. And you might have a little trouble finding it these days because it's actually out of print now. Yes, I waited so long to do the review that it's actually gone out of print. So the way it opens up is pretty simple. It slides open just like the Matrix. And there you go. You got the big ball of the Matrix of Leadership, you know, crystal of knowledge there. And if you look, you can see it's kind of, it actually is kind of shiny, if you see there. Just the crystalline part is shiny. The rest of it is, you know, a little bit glossy. It is embossed slightly, so it's quite nice. And there you go. Now, this, of course, was done for the 25th anniversary of the Transformers, which occurred in 2009. And Shout Factory really wanted to go all out and make it as deluxe as possible. So the way it opens up is like this. And we have the contents there. And if we look up, actually, you can see we have this nice, shiny picture of Optimus Prime there, which is quite nice. So the first thing you see here is the booklet. And let's angle back down a little bit. There we go. And the booklet is quite nice. It's got character bios. It's got a total of 15 character bios in it, and it's got breakdowns of every single episode. It's also got a little bit of trivia here and there, which we'll talk about in another episode. But as you can see, this is quite a gorgeous book. It's how many pages is this anyway? It's 56. Is that including covers? No. So the 56-page booklet total, and it covers every single episode of the series. Gives you a summary of all of them. I think it gives you original air dates and everything, and it's just awesome. Very slick little book there. And we got a profile of Unicron there. So of course the set does not include the movie, which most of you are probably aware. It's strictly the TV series. So those of you who are familiar with the lore will know that the movie, chronologically speaking, occurs between the second and third season. And the third season is all stuff that occurs after the movie. In fact, the third season opener, a 5-part story called 5 Faces of Darkness, is a direct sequel to the movie. So first off, we have all 98 episodes spread across 16 discs with extras and divided into sets of 4 discs apiece. And you got the contents and extras and whatnot listed on there. So season 1 was only 16 episodes, so they were able to fit that nicely on 2 discs, 8 episodes per disc. And you got a disc of extras, and then the first few episodes of season 2 right there, I think. Yeah, the first few episodes of season 2. So it's divided up a little bit differently than the individual sets, and package art is quite nice. You got Optimus there, and some of the other characters on the discs. So very nice indeed. In fact, if we pop these out, let's take a little look here. Might take us a few minutes to get through all the packaging here because there's just so much to see. It actually does give you the other side of Optimus there as well, so pretty cool, pretty cool. So if we look at the disc art, we have disc 1 has Optimus, disc 2 has Megatron, and they kind of do it throughout the set like that, where they'll have an Autobot and a Decepticon, notable characters throughout, and then just kind of alternate between them as you go. So disc 3 has Bumblebee, and disc 4 has, of course, Starscream. So 4 pretty major characters from the first season right there. Obviously there isn't enough room to have pictures and profiles of every single character in the series because there's just too darn many of them, but they do cover most of the major ones pretty nicely. So here on the second set, we actually have a nice picture of Megatron. We open it up, and there he is in all his evil glory. And I'm not going to take all the discs out this time, but I will at least let you see the disc art. So there we go. And then gotta be kind of careful with these sometimes. Just at least let you have a look at the characters on each disc there. It's been a while since I've watched the show. I actually have forgotten who some of the characters are, so I won't embarrass myself by trying to name them all. But I do know most of them. I know mostly the early ones anyway. The later ones I'm not quite as well versed on, just because they didn't do as many episodes with them. So there we go. So that's another batch of episodes from Season 2. And then we have the rest of Season 2 and the beginnings of Season 3 here. Actually, here, I'll just show you the back as well. So you can see this one has no extras, it's all episodes. So, good batch of episodes on there. And then set 3, right there. So this one we have the last batch of episodes of Season 2, a disc of extras right here, and then the first batch of episodes from Season 3. So they always keep the extras to the end of each season. So you get a full season of episodes uninterrupted, and then you get the extras that coincide with that season. So you get things like commercials and whatnot. That there's Shockwave. Yeah, nice. Took all the way until disc 10 to get to Shockwave. Oh well. I know a lot of Shockwave fans out there, myself included. There we go. We got Unicron. Kind of hard to. You're actually seeing them better on camera than I'm seeing them here in the room. So there you go. All right. And then finally, we have the last set, and then we'll get into just the last few little goodies in there. So this is the last batch of episodes from Season 3, and all 3 episodes of Season 4. Yeah, they didn't do very many episodes. Season 4, they did basically a 3-part story, which was meant to be the season premiere, but it ended up being all they did of the season. So there you go, last batch of character pictures there. See if we can ID them all. Overall, pretty well represented. And, oh, I see I was actually watching the extras disc. Let me just go pop that out of my player. Just 1 second here. There we go. So that is the final disc there, which has the last batch of extras on it. Quite a meaty collection of extras on here, but we'll go into those next time. Alrighty, so what else is in here? Oh yes, there's more. There's more. You got an Autobot and Decepticon fridge magnet. Now I should mention, if you get the individual season sets, you can get the Autobot fridge magnet, but you can only get the Decepticon one in this set. It actually was not released with the individual sets. So, and some fans asked, why did they do these in black and white? Well, apparently with the Rhino sets, they did something similar, and they had them in color. So Shout Factory decided to do them in black and white just to have them different than the previously released ones. You know, make it uniquely theirs. And then finally, I think that's it. I think all that remains... Oh yeah, we got a picture of... see if you can see here. It's kind of hard to see. But you actually do get a picture of Megatron. There we go. You can sort of see him. Anyway, it's the same picture that was on the second set there. And then you just get a little ad for the G.I. Joe Footlocker set, which is the complete series of G.I. Joe. Nothing on the back, which came out around the same time. And this was an even bigger... It's kind of funny. The Transformers was a slightly longer series, yet it's 1 disc shorter than the G.I. Joe set. Go figure. I don't know how that worked out exactly. But, yeah, so then we just put everything back in. You see how it all fits back together. Pretty straightforward. Put all those in there. Nice and neat. So you can see also it alternates between purple and red motif. So red for Autobot, purple for Decepticon. Very nice. Oh. And the booklet. And I'm gonna have to tip it up just so the flap can actually go underneath, because it just tucks in underneath everything there. slide it shut. And there you go. The Matrix is sealed once again. The universe is safe. And there you have it. A closer look at the contents of the Transformers 25th Anniversary Complete Series set, Matrix of Leadership Edition from Shout Factory. So, next time, we're going to take a look at the actual contents, just what's on each disc, what kind of extras there are, how the extras on this compare to the individual sets. Yeah, but that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.